Q&A. I'm actually starting 1 minute early. Oh, it just switched to 7. So welcome. If this is your first time, oh wait, I need to start the chat. If this is your first time, please put your name and where you're from. Or if you haven't been on in a while, just remind me where you're from so I can enter you into the drawing that we'll do around 8 o'clock Mountain Time, unless we don't have a ton of questions, then I'll do it earlier. Nicole, hello, Nicole. So I'm going to be writing down names as you jump on, and I'll answer questions. So Nicole, how's everything going with all your dogs? And I'm home. I was going to go to my office tonight, but I've been out in the cold. It seems like every time I do a live, I've been out in the cold all day. So then I just don't want to go out again. Hey Willow. So I'm staying in because it is freezing outside, and I didn't want to go back out again in the snow. Um, Julie, I know it's late. The reason it's late is because we're doing different times each week, so that people from the West Coast can join, and then other times we do it early. Hi, Renee. Okay, I'm getting behind. Um, so yeah, we switch the time around every week just to try to give everybody a chance to jump on. So that's the only reason. So, oh my gosh, 4 degrees. I believe it. We've been in single digits lately. So, okay, we have Renee and Brian. Oh, good. Wilma's better. Okay, let me go back and see if I missed anybody. Um, I got Nicole. I got Willow. I got Julie Newman. I got Renee and Brian. Oh, I actually did 2 posts. So I did one yesterday. I usually try to do one Monday or Tuesday just to let everybody know when it's going to be this week. And then I did one like an hour ago just to say, hey, we're going to be live in 1 hour, just to kind of remind somebody. So they are on there. I don't know why they're hard to find because they should be at the top of the feed. If you want to hang on, before I end, I will go grab my calendar and I'll tell you when next week is going to be, because I try to schedule them out, and we're sometimes doing different days, and then we'll always either do like a 5, 6, or 7 just to kind of accommodate everybody. So, okay, let me go back. So Willow, today all 3 of my clients today were outside, and it was snowing and it was so cold, and it's hard to do treats with gloves on. And I have fingerless gloves, but that doesn't help the fingertips. So my hands were freezing, and we were working today with a service dog in training and then a search and rescue dog in training, and we were training them together. And so we were on Park Avenue and Main Street in Park City, and I mean, it was just snowing and windy. So we made it up to LL Bean, and then we went inside and practiced inside for probably like 45 minutes just to get warm. My poor dog was lifting her feet up because they had salted the sidewalk. So I'm going to have to get booties for her. She had a coat on, but I think with the salt, she's going to have booties. The German Shepherd did fine, but my dog was not liking the cold and the snow. I mean, she'll play in the snow and run, but it's just the salt on her feet. I think she wasn't thrilled about. Um, so how? Oh, Willow, you already said it was 4 degrees. Yeah, it's pretty cold. That's why I was gonna go up to my office tonight, but I'm like, I just don't want to. Once I got home and got warm, I didn't want to go back outside again. Um, and why did you walk to work? I would not walk to work unless it was like 5 minutes away. If it was 4 degrees. Okay, Willow, what type of dog do you recommend for my German Shepherd since she's not that active but can be kind of rough? Um, I was going to say pit bull, um, because I have four pit mixes, and they do play rough. In fact, today Jade, my dog, was the service dog in training, and the search and rescue dog was a German Shepherd. And so after the training session, we let them play a little bit, and um, they did great. But I was going to say pit bull. So um, the only thing is when you have two dogs. So I'll just tell you what I do with my dogs. My dogs play really rough, and so I always watch them and kind of supervise. And if I think they're getting like too aroused, then I'll give them a break. So I'll say, okay, let's take time out for a minute and let everybody decompress, and then let them go play again. Um, I was, my dogs are pretty good at self regulating, and they'll stop and do a shake off, and they'll give themselves a little timeout, and then they'll go back in it today. Um, or they'll go back into play. So they're pretty good. But when they're playing with another dog that maybe doesn't self-regulate as well, then will I'll make sure and give them a timeout. But what I would do is get Wilma and Roland together and just make sure that it's a good fit and that they play well together. Um, because definitely not all dogs can play with pit bulls. Like my dogs play really well with other dogs, but they do play rough, and so some dogs don't like that rough play, and so then I can't, I just don't let my dogs play with them. But um, my dogs play really well with other pit bulls, German shepherds, like other high energy dogs. So um, so Willow, I had Jade with me today. My little, let's see, here. She's over here sniffing the Jade. Come say hi. Oh yes, Mom froze me today. I had my coat on and everything, but her little feet got cold. So we're gonna have to do booties. Um. So yeah, I would meet the pity. Um. If Wilma is not active, she may not be. I mean, I would just check it out and see. But if she's not active, but she likes to play, then it might be a great fit. Like I have Maddie, who is 11, and she plays rough, but she's 11, so she doesn't really play rough anymore, but she used to. So yeah, I would just meet him and let him play and check it out and see how it goes. I think that would be awesome. Um, Another German Shepherd would also work as long as that dog also has high energy and can play kind of rough. So that's another possibility. But yeah, I mean, you guys know that I'm very pro pit bull. I have four. So when anybody is saying like I'm thinking about getting a pit bull, I'm like, go for it because I think they're amazing dogs. So hi, Karen. Okay, let me write Karen down. It's really interesting that no matter what day or time we do this, I always have my regulars, which I love. So um, yeah, if you guys are the ones that show up every week, we'll just maybe set a day. Well, I think they're still going to have me rotate it, but I'm just glad that you guys come every week. Um, yeah, if I lived that close, I would walk too. Um, so let's see, Willow. I'm just concerned that he'll have too much energy and they'll say it's not a good fit since they don't walk the dogs there. Um, I mean, you never know. I would just check. So you're my groupies? Yes, I love my groupies. I really do. Um, I mean, I would just do a meet and greet and just, say you're looking for a dog that can match your dog's energy level and that can play rough. Um, and just see how it goes. If if not, check back and we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of different breeds that play rough. Pitties and German Shepherds are the only ones. Like sometimes Rotties can play rough. I mean, I've seen some Golden Retrievers play rough, some Labs play rough. So, yeah, just kind of just check Roland out and see if it works. And if it's a good fit, I would say go for it. Um, so yeah, Nicole, I always joke because I have this, big bad pit bull. I mean, she's a pit mix, and you can tell she's a little smaller. But when I walk her outside in the winter, she has her coat on, and she'll still shiver. I mean, she's got short hair, but they're supposed to be so tough, and mine are wimps in the winter. So yeah, she's gonna have to have booties. She had one booty when she had. I'm watching my cat play. She had one booty when she had an operation on her foot. And so she did get used to one. And so then when I tried to put the others on, she was not having it. But yeah, we're going to have to get used to them because today I almost picked her up and was going to carry her because that's how much she just kept lifting up her paws and licking them and not wanting to walk. Um, okay, let's see, Julie. I am having an issue with our neighbor letting his dog come up to our fence and bark at my dog. Yeah, that is always an issue. My dog is 1.5 years old and is starting to lose his mind when this happens. My neighbor's dog will even pee on our fence, play in my yard. That's not, oh, Willie, leave the cat alone. Come here. Um, Play in my yard that's not fenced and barks as well. Their yard is not fenced and he's usually not on a leash. Um, Although they do usually stay with him, so he roams with him. Okay, my dog is becoming more aggressive, and I know I need to do something, but not sure what to do. Um, I was going to recommend that you talk to your neighbor, but if you already have, and that hasn't worked, um, that's that's going to be a tough one since your neighbor doesn't have a fence and they don't regulate their dog. One thing that you can do is, um, like, I would like, do your neighbors just let their dog out to go potty since they don't have a fence, or do they just let their dog out to free roam? Because you could ask them, like, our dog's getting more aggressive and we really don't want this. So could you let me know when you're going to be letting your dog out and I'll bring my dog in? Um, I think I've mentioned before in this group, but two of my friends both have reactive dogs and they live next door, no fences. And so they actually have a flag system. So if the flag is out they like do it on their bound property line. So if the one neighbor's flag is out, then the other one knows that the dog is out and not to bring her dog out. And then if she goes out, she'll put a flag out. And so they look for the flags before they take their dog out. And it works. It actually works really, really well. So, Willie, hey, you can't have the cat. Sorry. My dogs have been like sleeping all day long. And they do this until I start a live. And then they decide to tease the cat and want to play. It's ridiculous. Um, so yeah, I would see if you can do a flag system. And I mean, is their dog staying in their own yard technically? Because I don't know about the leash laws there, but I mean, if it gets bad and the neighbors aren't helping, you could call animal control and just say this is happening. But if it's like on their property, I don't really know what they can do unless you say that we feel um, threatened or something, or like our dog feels threatened. I know that they've done that here a few times, not with me, but my friend has Malamutes, and she had her dog off leash at a park one time, and a lady said that she felt threatened, and so my friend like got in trouble. But that wasn't in her own yard either. So I would maybe call animal control. I know that you don't want bad vibes with your neighbors, but if they're not willing to help, then I would see what animal control can do. Um, and then just work on like trying to bring your dog in. Because what we don't want to happen is we don't want your dog to practice that behavior of barking at the fence and becoming aggressive at the fence. So if if you can just bring your dog in, I mean, teach a really good recall, or teach your dog that when the neighbor dog comes out, you come in and we do something really fun and exciting, like a snuffle mat or a bully stick or something like that, so that it's more rewarding than barking at the fence. Um, so that can be the cue. So when the other dog comes out and you first hear the barking, you can go out and tell your dog, okay, enough, let's go. And then bring your dog in and do something super fun. And then eventually that will become the cue that the neighbor dog comes out and your dog comes in and does the really fun, exciting stuff. Does that make sense? So I would try that, and then continue to work um, with the neighbor and see if you can get anywhere with the neighbor. Um, okay, Emily. Emily, where are you from? And I will add you in the drawing. Okay. I'd love tips on handling mouthing in an adolescent pup 10 months. Attention seeking nipping. Oh, okay. So there's there's a couple of different ways that I handle this. So one way is for dogs that love to mouth, I teach them to hold something in their mouth. Um, or like I'll redirect to a ball or a toy or something. So my little foster dog, if he comes back, I'll show you. He's in a diaper. He was chewing on stuff, like not necessarily me, but chewing on other stuff. So I just started giving him other things to do with his mouth. So I would like, hey, you can't chew on me or my books or the table or whatever, but here's what you can chew on. And it only took about a week for him to learn what his toys were, and all of his toys are in a toy box. So he'll go over and get his toys, and that's what he's allowed to chew on. So just teaching them like what's okay to chew on. In fact, he's at his toy box right now. He'll get all the toys out and get the one at the very bottom, and it's usually like the grungiest, oldest toy, and that's the one he likes. The other thing I do is I'll do the 3 strike bite rule. So the first time the dog bites, and when I say bite, I mean just mouthing. So the first time I'll just, kind of like, oh, too hard, and then redirect to a toy. If your puppy doesn't want the toy and goes back to mouthing you, then I calmly put the dog in a crate with a toy. You always want to put a toy in the crate with the dog so that it's not a punishment. But then the dog goes in the crate with a toy for like 30 seconds to a minute just to decompress, and then let the dog out. If the dog goes back to biting you a third time, then again, calmly pick the dog up, put him in the crate with the toy, cover the crate, and the dog gets a nap. Because some dogs, when they get really overly aroused and get really crazy, then that's when they probably need a nap anyway. So um, that's when I would just like give them a nap, and then you get a break. Um, for attention seeking, I know like a lot of dogs are just trying to like engage in play. So you can do things like, you can't bite me, but here, I'll play tug with you. Like, let's play tug. I also like flirt poles for mouthy dogs because it's like the fishing pole. Well, you can look at them on the website. I know that Pupford sells flirt poles, and I actually like theirs because they're extendable. The very first one I bought is just it's like a cat toy, and it's so long that I put it on the carrier thing on top of my car. Um, but I like those because you can keep the dog away from you. You're holding the flirt pole, and then you can let your dog run around, grab, bite, shake, and so the dog is getting to bite, but it's far away from your hands. And then I'll teach drop it, give the dog a treat. While the dog's eating the treat, I pick up the toy, and then we start again. So I would do that. And if it's attention seeking too, I would try to maybe do some more mental enrichment. So like snuffle mats, um, treat dispensing toys like the Kong wobbler. It's been a long day. Kong wobbler. Um, so things where the dog has to use his his or her brain to figure out how to get the toy or the food out. So you can either use kibble or you can put treats in there. Um, so something like that. The other one that I like, and the water bottle does matter. I for this I like to use. Oh man, mine's in the car. I like to use the plastic water bottles that you're gonna recycle anyway, but use the cheap one. The ones that have the harder plastic, it's going to be too hard for your dog, and sometimes it cuts them. So I like the really kind of, hey, guys, stop, come here. Sorry, we had a little tip over a toy or something, not sure what. Good, come here. You stay over here, good girl. You never know what's going to happen in a dog trainer's house. Um, so I take the water bottle and throw in some kibble and treats, put the lid on, and then I'll take a knife and just cut out some holes big enough for um, one or two pieces of kibble to come out, and then give it to the dog. The dogs like the crunch of the water bottles, but then they have to move it around, flip it around, roll it, and try to figure out how to get the treats out. So that's really good for dogs that are mouthing because they get to actually chew on the water bottle. And like if they rip it up, it's fine. You're going to recycle it anyway. But that's why I like the softer, cheaper water bottles. So try those tips and let me know how that works. Um, Willow, they also have another pit bull named Rio, and he's 3 and still has his puppy energy. Um, I let's see, how old was Roland? Was it Roland? I'm scrolling backwards. Oh yeah. So how old is Roland? I mean I think 3-year-old 3 is a good age because then they're adults. So you're done with the puppy and adolescent stage. Um, But yeah, I have 2 3-year-olds that still have puppy energy, so I totally get it. I would just take Wilma and try with both of them and see which one she likes better and which one they seem to play better with, and do that. Because Wilma's going to be the one that plays, and it's basically going to be her brother or sister or her brother. It looks like they're both boys. Um, So I would let Wilma decide like which one is the better fit. But then you also watch their play style and how they interact and things like that. Um, it's like when I brought Jade home, I was only going to bring her home for a weekend just to give Daphne somebody to play with. And one weekend, and it's like, okay, I'm keeping her because they played so well. And we had just lost Piglet, one of my little pity mixes, and since Maddie's older, Daphne had nobody to play with. So when I brought Jade home, they played so well that I ended up keeping her. So, um, hey, Willie, come here. Sorry. The bad thing about doing this at home, I might have to go get Willie and put him in his crate. Let me see what he's barking at. Hey, buddy. What are you barking at? I don't know what he's barking at, but say hi to everybody, and then I'll put you in your crate with a toy, okay? Say hi. He barks when the water jug is empty, but it's full, so I know it's not the water. And he might be barking because he can't get in the crate with the big dogs. He's decided that the big dog crate is now his crate. Huh. I'm going to put you in your own with your chew item and let you hang out there for a minute, okay? Go in there. Okay. Hopefully he won't bark. Um, well, at least you guys can see firsthand how to manage a multi-dog household. Um, it's a lot of work, even for trainers. It's a lot of work. So, Nicole Wilma, sometimes when it is really cold, turns back inside when I open the door. Yeah, so, I've been wondering if Willie, so Willie has started to use his back legs. So remember, he used to drag them and then he has his cart. Well, he's actually walking on them now, but I mean, he still walks wonky, but he is using his back legs. So now I'm wondering, is he really incontinent or could he be potty trained? We still don't know if he's totally incontinent or not. I mean, he has accidents in the house, so he wears a diaper a lot of the time. But when I take him out to go potty, he will turn around and come right back in. He's like, oh, heck no, I am not going to go out in the snow and go potty. So he would rather just go in the house where it's warm. So we're still working on that to see. I'm trying to see if I can potty train him. But again, his big thing is, no, I don't want to go out in the snow. Anita, I wish I was in Florida right now because it is really cold. Okay. Julie, they usually go out with their dog to play. When I spoke to him, he said, well, we are with him. The dog is sometimes in your yard. So, is he like in your front yard and do you have a fenced backyard? So when you say that he's in your yard, but you have a fence, so is he like in your front yard? Um, because if he's in your yard, then technically you could call animal control and say, the dog's coming into my yard and fence fighting with my own dog, um, and go that way. Is there some type of training I should do to help with this reactivity? Um, yeah, kind of what I just explained, and yeah, you probably put those in while I was explaining it. Um, there are different things you can do, but if your neighbor's not willing to help, what I would do is just work on your dog and just work on I like to use what I call a flight cue. And the flight cue means I turn 180 degrees and have the best party and treats ever. So I'll use a different word other than COME. Um, and like I'll use retreat, or some of my clients use party time. And so if you, Julie, if you want to email me, I'll put my, you probably already have this, but I'm going to put it in anyway. If you want to email me and just ask for the flight queue, I will email it to you. But if, so you want the flight queue to be better treat than he ever gets. Um, and so that when you say like party time, the dog knows, oh, I'm going to go in the house and have the best party and treats ever. And you could even set up, so one of my friends came up with this idea to work with reactive dogs that like don't like strangers coming in their house. So we set up what we call Wonderland, and we have like a snuffle mat, we have a Kong wobbler, we have a licky mat, we have scattered treats. And so when the dog comes in, there's like all these fun things to do. And so with people coming in, the dog like comes out of a room and gets to have Wonderland with other people on the other side of the room. But you could do the same thing and have your flight cue, like party time or retreat or whatever you want to call it, mean come inside and let's have play date and let's have like snuffle mat and lick mat and all these really fun things. So you're going to turn something bad, meaning the other dog coming over, terrorizing your dog, barking, um, have that be the cue to where you call your dog in and do this really, really fun thing. And then let your dog go back out when the neighbor dog goes in. So that's what I would do. Just, and I've actually seen videos of that too, and it works really well. Another one that you can do is call your dog like okay, say the other dog is barking at the fence and your dog is barking at the fence. You could take a handful of really high value treats like hot dogs. Usually for this, I use this Pupford salmon treats because they smell more. And I'll throw them in the grass and I'll say, go hunt. And then the dog gets to hunt for the food. Um, but it has to be more reinforcing than barking at the other dog. So we have to make sure you want to practice this a lot under threshold. So before you need it. So I always start like inside. I do it a lot inside and then on leash outside. And I do it a lot so that we get a really high rate of reinforcement. And so it gets in the dog's muscle memory. Hey, Willie, don't bark at the cat. That's a good boy. So that then when you need it, the dog knows that, your retreat cue means first, you're just going to throw treats behind your dog to get your dog to turn around and go the other way. And then you can build on that and go farther and farther until it means you come in the house and we have all these fun things for you to do. So yeah, I would try that because then you're turning something negative into something really fun for your dog. Willie, hey. Yeah, so you're not rewarding your dog's barking. What you're doing is you're interrupting your dog's barking and redirecting. So like if you named it, sorry about him. He's the cat's playing and Willie's barking at the cat. Um, so if I'm going to go in the other room since he's being very loud and obnoxious. It's just not as light in here. It's a little bit darker. Um, so, so you're interrupting your dog from barking, and then you're redirecting to something fun. So, like you could use a word like enough, like stop. But I would just say, like when your dog's barking, I would just say like, retreat. And that means turn the other way and come and have a fun, so you're redirecting, which is what we want to do with reactivity is redirect your dog to do something else. Eventually, if you do this a lot, what's going to happen is your dog, that will become the cue. So when the other dog comes to the fence and barks, that's your dog's cue. And then your dog will learn, oh, I run back to the house and get my playground type of thing. So your dog will get to the point where he doesn't even bark. He'll just turn around and run and come inside for the fun thing. Oh, Emily, you're from Alabama. I've actually been to Alabama once. Let's see, is that AL or AB? I don't know I can't remember all of my state abbreviations. It's been a long time since I've been in school. I'll just write it out. So I went to Talladega. It's been a while ago, but I loved it. I loved Alabama. We were there in April, so it wasn't humid or anything, but it was a lot of fun. I was kind of dating a musician, and we went back for his birthday, and like all the friends are musicians, so everybody got together in one person's barn, and we had a big jam session, and it was amazing. It was so much fun. So it was really pretty down there. I thought it was beautiful. Um, okay. Oh, Willow. Willie's doing great. He's actually using his back legs, like I was saying, and you can hear he's found his voice, so he's fitting in really well. He's learned how to get in the big dog crate. So I have this big crate that all three dogs can fit in. They like to go in together. I don't put them all in together, but sometimes, like right now, the door's open and like two or three will just go in and lay down together. And he's figured out how to hoist himself up to the big dog crate. And so he's in there now a lot, except right now I put him in his crate. Okay, Renee. I saw your Instagram post with Jade's food resource guarding. Yes, in fact, back when I said we had a little tuffle over something, when you heard like a quick snarl with the dogs and I stopped them, that was probably Jade. And it probably was, she doesn't just resource guard her food, but she will resource guard the couch, the crate. So, for instance, Willie will go in the crate if Maddie or Daphne are in there. But if Jade's in there, Jade's growled at him before, so now he'll walk over and he'll say, oh, great, Jade's in there. He won't even try and go in. So, yeah, she resource guards more than food. And since Willie's kind of the new dog, if Willie gets too close to her toys, or I usually don't have any issues with toys. And since I didn't see what happened, I don't know what caused it. But anyway, let's see. Okay, so Peyton is great with food. The issue for her is toys. She'll snap if we try to take one from her. Oh, okay, so for that, I would teach trades. So what I do is if Jade has a toy in her mouth or something in the mouth, and so if Peyton has something in her mouth that you don't want her to have, then offer her something of equal or higher value, and it can be a treat. So it can be like here, look, I'll trade you for this, and say like drop it or out. And then when Peyton drops the item for something better, then you mark it. So as soon as they drop the item, I'll either click or say yes, and then I give the other item, and sometimes, usually it's a treat. And then once they eat the treat, I give the toy back, just in teaching trades. So that in the dog's mind, it's like I give up my toy, I get a treat and then I get my toy back. So it's a win-win. But then if you do need to take her toy, then if she has something in her mouth that she's not supposed to have, then I just don't give it back. But I do give the treat. So I'll trade back and forth. So we'll do drop it, you get a treat, okay, take, and then drop it, and we'll just go back and forth. But what you're offering always has to be of equal or higher value. The other thing, yeah, so I don't ever just try and take it away from them because that can make resource guarding worse. So that's why I do the trades and teach a drop it, and then make it worth it. Yeah, Peyton would do great here because there's no more room in the crate. In fact, I took a picture today of Maddie's head was laying on Daphne and Willie was in there. And so it's like a pity pile up. And there was and they were all three snoring and there wasn't any more room. Luckily, Jade was on the couch. Karen, I saw the video of Willie getting around outside without his wheels. I know, you know what? That only happened within the past 5 days or whenever we posted it. Like all of a sudden, he found his back legs, but it was first he figured out how to hoist himself up into the crate. Because there's I have one of those big Alcatraz crates. And so you actually have to step up into it. And so for him, he can't even jump up, but he can get his front feet in and then he pulls his back legs up. And it was about that time that he started actually walking on his back legs. So yeah, he's doing really well. That's why I need to ask the vet, is it possible that he's not incontinent and that we can potty train him? Because I only put a diaper on him at night. Because diapers are expensive. For you guys that have kids, I feel for you because even dog diapers are really expensive. So I only put them on him at night, but I take him out to go potty a lot. But man, I'll tell you what, I get tired of cleaning that pee and poop. Okay, so Emily, we do direct her, but it has created a problem that she expects to be constantly entertained, redirected if she isn't in her crate. Oh, okay. So another thing I would do is start to associate a bed or a mat as a place to settle. So, give her high value, long lasting things like stuffed frozen Kongs, bully sticks, things like that. Give her those things to do on her mat. So that she learns how to self-entertain. But so that it takes longer. So if it weren't 7:45 my time and my dogs already ate dinner, but if I was going to do a live, I would have spread the dogs out, given them a licky mat or a bully stick or something, just so they can chill in their own spot and chew on their bully stick. But then they learn kind of how to entertain themselves while I'm working. So I would get a mat or a bed, and a mat can be a towel, or you can use a dog bed or anything, which is a place where your dog learns to go. And it can be a crate too. And start to give your dog those high value, long-lasting chew things. So again, frozen Kong. I like to freeze it because then it takes longer to get it out. You can even do the Kong wobbler in a crate. They just can't move it around as much. They just have to tip it and figure out how to get it out. But yeah, if she's not in her crate, teach her to go to a mat and do that. So I have a crate here, but then I have a dog mat right here. And so sometimes this is where the dogs just will go and lay down and chew on their toys. And so, and Jade guards that too. So it's funny because if one of the dogs is laying on there chewing a toy, Jade has no problem going up and laying down and chewing on a toy. But if somebody tries to go on there when she's on there first, she'll growl at him. So, yeah, that's just that's just Jade. We manage it. I just know that that's the way she is. But the other dogs have learned. They kind of know if Jade's in the crate or on the bed, we just don't mess with her, and it works like 95% of the time. And then every once in a while, she'll get crabby. Um, yeah, so to teach a natural off switch, I do mat work. And trying to think if I have a handout on mat work. I'm not I'm not sure that I do, but if Emily, if you want to email me, I will look through my handouts and see if I have anything on like have a handout on mat work. I know we do it in my intermediate class where we use those little raised beds, like the corunda beds, and we teach a dog to do a settle on there. This is more for like therapy dogs in training because we need them to lay down and chill while kids are reading to them. So we'll start teaching them a settle on the bed, but then like we give them a chew item or something that's going to take longer, and they learn to just stay on their bed and chill. Um, so yeah, try that. If you have a bed or something outside of the crate, I would do that. Okay, Willow. Roland is 2. So Roland is still technically an adolescent and teenager, where Rio is just reaching social maturity. So Rio may be a better fit. It just depends. Again, like each dog is different. So um, I would just do a meet and greet and just see which one Wilma likes the best. That's what I would do. Oh, Karen, your pup is barking back at, yeah, Willie. That's funny. Hey, Julie. You put Julie down from New York. Julie, what kind of weather are you guys having? Anita's having 80-degree weather in Florida, and we are in single digits and having a snowstorm right now. So Julie, tonight it started at 7. So I was explaining earlier, um, we're going to rotate times every week just because we want to give the West Coast people time to get home from work. So they'll either be at 5, 6, or 7. And we're going to kind of switch up between Wednesday and Thursday. So now that I have my calendar, um, next week, which will be March 3rd, it'll be Thursday at 5. So it'll be earlier. And then the next week after that, we'll we'll have Wednesday at 6. So that'll give you the schedule for the next 2 weeks. So next week, Thursday at 5, and then the week after that, the 9th, it'll be our normal Wednesday at 6. Um, oh yeah, Nicole, you're lucky because Willie the potty's in the house all the time. Like we have this pattern, and in the morning when I let him out of his crate, he does sleep in a crate because he can get his diapers off, and his diapers also don't hold in his little boy parts, and so not everything goes in the diaper. Um, but I let him out, and he runs to the back door, so he knows he goes to the back door, stops. I take his diaper. He has 2 diapers at night. I take his diapers off and send him outside to go potty. Um, and sometimes he does potty outside and then comes back in. And then I feed him. So then when he needs to go again, he doesn't go to the back door. He goes where I can't see him, which is my bad. I'm usually working and doing emails and stuff, but I should know that when he starts moving out of my sight that I need to go get him and send him back out to go potty. Because he just doesn't like to go out in the cold. Yeah, Anita, I don't want to hear it. I was freezing today. 80 degrees. That's beach weather. Oh, Brian, yes, you do want Jade to pull the winners because she always picks you. I'm actually home today, so I don't have my normal um, setup with the bowl and everything. I just like I write them on a piece of paper and then pair them off and mix them up, and then I just pick one. So, and the other reason that I don't do it at home is because if I have a bag of, even though it's paper, and if one of the other dogs comes up to see what we're doing and Jade's resource guards, even though it's just paper, then she sometimes will lash out at the other dog. So when I do it at home, I don't have her pick unless I have like all the other dogs like in other rooms or locked up or outside, just so um, I don't have an issue with Jade. But next week, since it's going to be earlier, I will do it at my office, and then Jade can pick. Yes, because she always picks Brian. She picked Brian like twice in a row. Um, okay, Anita, with your help, my little bit is now using bells to come back into the house. Oh, that's awesome. But won't sit and wait for us to open the door. Okay, still working on trying to stop and not jumping on the door. Well, you know what? It is a work in progress, but it sounds like it's going better. So now, when Little Bit uses the bell, um, try. Have you taught her a sit and a wait? So, like, I would teach a sit and wait, like a sit and a wait to go outside, not for potty, but just like to go out on walks or when guests come over. I like to teach like a sit and a wait. And I know that the door's closed, but if you teach it like with hand signals, so like my hand signal for sit is this and this is wait. Um, so from, she rings the potty bells and then you can ask her to sit, wait while you open the door. If she jumps the gun, then you close the door and then put her back in a sit and a wait. And then open the door and wait and then say, okay, come in. And then release her to come in. Just so she learns that pattern and do it over and over and over and over again. So you could start it from outside. So she's outside, she comes up, rings the potty bell, ask her for a sit and a wait, and then start to open the door. If if she moves before you release her, the door closes. If she waits, then the door keeps opening, and then you mark it like click or yes, and then let's go, and then you let her go in the house. So I would teach it from outside first, and then teach it inside with the hand cues, unless she can hear you. If she can hear you through the door, then you can just say sit and wait, and then open the door. But if she jumps on the door or scratches on the door, you stop and you wait for her to sit and wait, and then you continue to open the door. Does that make sense? Um, Anita, if you want to email me and ask me for my door manners handout, it's going to be a little bit different because this is sitting and waiting while somebody comes to your door. So instead of having your dog rush to the door, jump on people, bark, you teach him to sit and wait. But it's going to be the same concept. You're just going to use it a little bit differently for a little bit to do it at the back door to come back in. But it's going to be the same principle. So if you want to email me, I will send that to you. But it sounds like you're making progress, so that's awesome. And that's only been a week, right? Did we? I can't remember. Did we talk about this last week? Um, so in just a week, that's great. Hello, Anthony from California. Oh, Julie on Instagram. We are. I'll type it. We are three little pit dot. Oh shoot! I have to look. I think I actually pay somebody to do my Instagram because I'm terrible at social media. I mean, we film reels together and stuff, but Caitlin does all the posting. I'm pretty sure it's Three Little Pits dog training. My phone is over there. Um, so I just put it in the chat. It it's been 2 to 3 weeks already. Oh, see, I thought it was just last week, but still, 2 to 3 weeks is good. I mean, there's some things I've been working on with Jade for a year, and she's still not totally getting them. Um, so yeah, Julie, um, our training one, and then Willie has his own page. That's Willie's WILLIES So Willie's Wheels um, is on there too. And then I have a personal one, but I never post. I don't I just don't do social media very often. So um, yeah, but you can check out those two. We try to do a lot of training tips, and also Caitlin, who works with me and does all my social media, she filmed a reel for Pupford, so she might start filming some reels for Pupford as well. She's so good at doing reels. I don't know how she does it, but I'm older than dirt, and I just was not born in the age of technology, so I don't know how to do all this stuff. But she is so good at it. So I can't take credit for the social media. Although sometimes she'll tell me like, "This is what I need you to do, and this is what we're going to do," and then she films it and we do it. So, but yeah, she does it all. Um, oh, Gertie is giving you puppy dog eyes. I know, isn't it? Isn't it the best when they give you puppy dog eyes? Um, oh, Rio has some social issues with new people as well. Um, yeah, so it depends on like what you're willing to work through and what kind of things you're willing to train. Um, so if Roland doesn't have any issues and plays really well with Wilma, I might go with that. However, if Wilma is pretty well-rounded and solid in social behavior with people, then Wilma might be able to kind of help Rio through some of that. It depends on what the social issues are. So with shy and fearful dogs, sometimes just watching another dog can help. Like that's how it was when I had Hallie. She was scared to death of other people, but um, she would see Tacoma doing things, getting treats, getting pet from people, and realize, okay, nothing bad's happening. He's getting treats. This looks okay. So then she would go try it. It took a long time, but she learned a lot just by watching Tacoma. So yeah, it just depends on what Wilma's personality is, but Wilma could definitely help him. If Roland seems to be really good with people, dogs, and you're like, I just don't want to work with any behavioral issues right now, then I would go with Roland. But yeah, I always like to say that I try to learn something from every one of my dogs. So all of my dogs have had issues of some type, but I've learned from every single one of them. So even Jade, who's an amazing dog, I mean, she's so good, but she has her issues. So in the house, we've learned how to manage. I've learned how to do our feeding schedule in the morning. I've kind of learned what to supervise and things like that. So it's all a learning process. Oh, you guys are having spring and then back to winter. Yeah, we're having winter today. Willow will be a little bit late. Yeah, that's totally fine. Um, so Nina, honestly, I don't know how that works because again, I am technology retarded, and so I don't know what the link or anything looks like. Um, for the lives. I'll have to ask so that I know like how you guys get on. Um, so maybe we can make it easier. Um, yeah, because I don't know what you guys see on your end. I just advertise like when we're going to be on, but then I know you can get on from the 30-day perfect pup and then the regular Pupford page, and I think from YouTube. But again, I'm not sure like how all that works. But I'm going to be going down to Pupford in the next couple of weeks, so I'll ask them as well. Um, but let me make myself a note because I'll forget. So live link. Okay. And I'll try to put something up a little bit earlier. Like I'll try to get it done like on Monday, just so everybody knows when we're gonna be on. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. Sorry, Willow. I might have had you mixed up with somebody else. Oh, it's sorry, it's Nicole who has Wilma. So we were talking about Nicole. Oh, see, now I'm getting everybody confused. I'm so sorry. So Nicole, you have Wilma, and Willow, you're looking for a dog for your German Shepherd. And I probably just said Wilma because I know Nicole's dog is named Wilma, so I probably just got confused. So sorry. Yeah, Wilma is one of the Pupford community's dogs, and I just got confused. Um, okay, let's get back down to where I was. See, that's the bad thing about doing these at 7 at night, because I am like tired and then I don't think straight. Um, oh, it's still too cold for swimming. Well, but when you come from the mountains, so when I moved to Arizona for school, we moved in January because we started school January 1st. And there were three of us from Utah that moved to Arizona. And everybody was wearing coats and hats and gloves, and we were out swimming because to us, it was like really good weather, and people thought we were crazy for swimming, but to us, it was warm because we were used to like single digits. So when you're used to the cold and live in the mountains, then 80 degrees would be awesome. But yeah, and we've done, when I was on search and rescue, we did swiftwater training in 25-degree weather or water, and it was freezing. But yeah, I wouldn't do that just for the fun of it. Um, let's see. Just curious, why are puppy dog eyes bad? Um, does it mean she's in pain? I mean, not necessarily. You'd have to send me a picture of what like puppy dog eyes are. Sometimes they just want attention. Sometimes they're just like looking at you. Like sometimes Jade will look at me in a way that I would call those puppy dog eyes. Sometimes they just want something. So like when I'm eating and my dogs are begging, they'll look at me like all sweet, like please give me a bite, and I would call those puppy dog eyes. Um, so it's not anything bad. Um, if your dog was in pain, you would notice other things, and if it was um, I mean, if your dog was in pain, you would probably hear like whimpering as well, and maybe crying when she moves a certain way. So things like that. Hey, Brian. Brian, if you want to tell me where you're from, I will enter you into the drawing that we are going to do like right now. Oh, Brian, so you guys got notified from Facebook. Okay. And is there a link? When you get notified from Facebook, is there a link that you just click on? See, like I said, I don't know how it works on your end. Um, yeah, so Anita, we did the same thing. We just had like a week of really nice weather, and then it's been snowing for 2 days, and today it was freezing. So, yeah, it's kind of doing that here now. Oh, Montana. I love Montana. I've only been there once, but or twice, but it's beautiful. Minus 20. Yep, you win. You win for being the coldest. Um, we've been, I think the coldest I've seen here is minus 17. And I'm up in Camas. So I'm up like right at the base of the Uinta Mountains. Hi Lexi. I'm gonna hurry and write down these last minute names before um, oh, so you just click on the pup. Oh yeah, so it's probably just like when I see notifications like somebody is live, and I click on it, and then I see them do their live. So it's probably the same thing. Okay. Okay. So give me a second to tear up my little names and get them in a pile, and and then I'll pick one. And if there's any other questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And if not, I'll let you guys go, and then I'll see you next week. So tonight's winner is Emily Butcher from Alabama. So congratulations, Emily. So Emily, what you're gonna do is you're gonna email hello@pupford.com. I just put that in the chat, and give him like your address, stuff like that, and then they are going to send you a bag of training treats for free, and you can pick what kind you want. So if you haven't tried them before, now's your chance. They have salmon, rabbit, beef liver, chicken, and sweet potato. So congratulations, and you'll get a free bag of training treats. And if you didn't win, Brian, next week, Jade will pick from the bowl. I taught her how to pick one out. So when we're at my office and I don't have to worry about resource guarding, she'll pick. So thanks everybody for joining, and have a great weekend. Stay warm, and we will see everybody next week.